What if I told you that one of the most popular facts about the human brain is completely wrong? You've probably heard someone say that humans use only 10% of their brains. Maybe it was in a movie, a book, or even from a teacher or motivational speaker. But what if that famous claim isn't true at all? And what if the real answer is even more fascinating? Let's find out. Imagine that you could suddenly unlock 100% of your brain. Would you instantly become a genius? Would you learn a new language in a single day, solve impossible math problems, or even read other people's minds? It sounds incredible, but before we answer that, we first need to understand how the brain actually works. Your brain contains around 86 billion neurons. These tiny cells are constantly sending electrical signals to one another, forming one of the most complex networks in the known universe. Even while you're sitting quietly watching this video, your brain is far from idle. It's controlling your heartbeat, helping you breathe, processing everything you see and hear, understanding these words, and deciding what to think next. In fact, although your brain makes up only about 2% of your body weight, it uses roughly 20% of your body's energy. That's an enormous amount of power for such a small organ. And here's the surprising part. Scientists have watched the brain in action using modern imaging technology, and they've discovered that almost every part of your brain becomes active over the course of a normal day. Different regions light up for different tasks. When you speak, one network becomes active. When you read, another takes over. When you remember your childhood, solve a puzzle, recognize a friend's face, or catch a ball, different groups of neurons work together in perfect coordination. Your brain isn't divided into a used part and an unused part. Instead, it's more like an orchestra. Every instrument has a different job, and beautiful music only happens when they play together at exactly the right time. Now imagine if every musician played as loudly as possible all at once. The result wouldn't be beautiful music, it would be complete chaos. Your brain works exactly the same way. The goal isn't to activate everything simultaneously. The goal is to activate the right areas at precisely the right moment. Think about your smartphone. You don't open every app at the same time. You only use the apps you need. Your brain works in a very similar way. Different networks switch on and off depending on what you're doing. That's what makes it so efficient. So what would actually happen if every neuron fired at maximum power all at once? Surprisingly, it wouldn't make you more intelligent. It would create overwhelming electrical activity that would disrupt normal brain function. In certain neurological conditions, such as seizures, groups of neurons fire in abnormal, uncontrolled ways. Rather than producing superhuman abilities, this disrupts the brain's ability to function normally. In other words, your brain isn't powerful because everything is active at once. It's powerful because everything is carefully organized. So if the famous 10% myth isn't true, does that mean your brain can't become better? Actually, it absolutely can. Not by unlocking hidden brain regions, but by strengthening the connections that already exist. Every time you learn something new, practice a skill, or solve a challenging problem, your brain builds and reinforces neural pathways. It's constantly adapting. This incredible ability is called neuroplasticity. Your brain literally changes throughout your life based on what you learn and experience. Exercise also helps by increasing blood flow and supporting healthy brain function. Sleep is just as important. While you sleep, your brain organizes memories, strengthens learning, and clears away waste products that build up during the day. Eating nutritious food, staying hydrated, managing stress, and remaining curious all help your brain perform at its best. There's no secret switch waiting to unlock superpowers. The real superpower is your brain's ability to learn, adapt, and improve every single day, and honestly, that's even more impressive than the myth. The human brain is already one of the most extraordinary creations in nature. It allows us to imagine worlds that don't exist, create art, invent technology, fall in love, tell stories, and even ask questions about itself. Scientists are still uncovering new discoveries every year, and many mysteries remain unsolved. So maybe the real question was never, what if you could use 100% of your brain? Maybe the better question is, how much more could you achieve by taking better care of the incredible brain you already have? The next time someone tells you that humans use only 10% of their brains, you'll know the truth. We already use virtually all of our brains, just not all a day.